right, number 2 on your workbook, on page 2. So the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers is 57. What are the 3 integers? So this one says consecutive odd integers. Yesterday we just did an example on normal consecutive integers. So what would be an example of some consecutive odd integers? Yes, William?
5, 6, and 7.
That's consecutive integers, so that's just regular consecutive integers that go up by 1 each time. Consecutive odd integers, like what's an example, Ty? What would be an example of consecutive odd integers?
55, 57, 59.
Good, 55, 57, 59. So it's going up by how much each time?
1.
2 this time, all right? So if it says consecutive odd integers, or it could also say consecutive even integers, it's going up by 2 each time. Make sense? So let's kind of set this up. Do we know what our first term is going to be? Does it say like the first term is 7? No, so I'm going to label it a variable. We don't know what the second term is either, but we know that it is 2 more than the first term, right? So how can I write it in algebra? Yes? Not n plus 1 plus 2, because it's going up by 2 each time, right? Good. So that's my second term. My third term is what? N plus 4. All right, so first term is n, second term is n plus 2, third term is n plus 4. Now it says the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers. So what does sum tell us to do? We're going to add them. The sum of 3 consecutive odd integers is 57. So we write that as equals 57. Any questions there? So that's the hard part, is setting it up. So now let's start trying to solve for the variable. Am I able to just start like moving stuff around on the other side yet? What do I have to do first? Is there anything I can combine over here? The 2 and the 4 combine to give me
6.
and it's positive, so I'm going to put plus 6. Can I combine anything else? The ends. So if the coefficient isn't written, what's the coefficient?
1.
1. So I have 1n plus 1n plus 1n, which is 3n. And then bring down that equals 57. Good there? Okay, now this is something more manageable that you've seen a few times now. So do I get rid of the 3's first or the 6 first?
6.
Because it's farther away. So opposite of adding 6 is, and you're going to do that on each side. On the left side, the 6's cancel. We have just 3n. What do you have on the right side?
51.
Good. And one more thing to get the n by itself. Divide by
3.
and do that on each side. So what does n equal? N equals 17. Now, is that my entire answer? No, that just tells me what the first term is, because the first term is n. What will be my second term? Good. And my third term?
21.
Good. So you can kind of think in your head, oh, well, they go up by 2 each time. So 2 more than 17 is this. 2 more than 19 is this. Or you can plug it back into these. So 17 plus 2 is 19. 17 plus 4 is 21. Good there? All right. I kind of meant for you guys to try it, but I guess I kind of took over. Questions? Nevaeh, you can go now. All right. All right. So you're going to have a question like this on your quiz. It might say 3 consecutive odd integers, 3 consecutive even integers. So here's how we set it up and how you solve it. Good? All right, this next one's a doozy. We're gonna try our best because we do have a problem on the quiz that's like this. So my suggestion is if you can really pay attention to how it's set up, the question on the quiz isn't gonna be very much different. It's just gonna have different numbers. All right, and you'll see with the other examples, they're like that too. So we have a lab technician needs 25 liters of a solution that is 15% acid for a certain experiment. So I'm gonna kind of take this one piece at a time. She needs 25 liters, that's what she needs, of a solution that is 15% acid. What is 15% written as a decimal?
15.4.
Anyone know how to convert percents to, how do you convert a percent to a decimal? I don't know who they know. We'll go with pi. How do you convert it? It should be 0.15. Is that what you were gonna say, Seth? So here's how you get there if you don't already know. 15% divided by 100% gives you the equivalent decimal, which is 0.15. Yes?
Our books, for example, 3 says something different, but it says it there.
So this is from the paper that
Oh, okay.
you picked up yesterday. I know it's hard. I don't like it that much either. I have to go back and forth, but they want you to have the workbook. They want you to have the workbook and work from it instead of making copies. Take out the stuff from yesterday, the notes and the book. This is in your notes, not the book. The paper, not here. Maybe if I show you the front of it, you'll know. Looks like this on the top. Yep, it's that one. We're on number 3 on that. Good. All right. So back to number 3 on your note paper. So we said 25 liters is what she needs of a solution that is 15% acid, which is written as 0.15 as a decimal. All right, now we're going to simplify that in the next step, but keep reading on. She only has a solution that is 10% acid and a solution that is 30% acid. How many liters of the 10% and 30% solutions should she mix to get what she needs? So 10% written as a decimal is what? 0.1. I'm going to put 0.10. Same thing. All right, so 0.10. Do we know how many liters of the 10% acid she needs right now? Does it say? It doesn't say. That's what we're trying to figure out. So we're going to label it a variable. Question? And after this example. All right. So we're going to label it a variable because we don't know how much she needs of that solution. We're combining it with the 30% solution. So combine means what? To add. And 30% written as a decimal is 0.30 or 0.3, same thing. All right, now I don't know how much I need of the 30%, but I don't want to make it like a different variable, right? Because then how am I going to solve it? I also don't want to make it x because it doesn't say that it's equal parts of each solution, right? So I'm not going to do that either. What I am going to do is, since I know I need to have 25 liters total, I'm going to put in parentheses 25 minus x, where the x represents the liters of the 10% solution. They try to really digest what how that happened. All right. This is how many liters I need of the 10% solution. However much I have of it will be subtracted from the 25 total that I need. Does that make sense? Did I lose anyone? All right.
It's on the worksheet.
So here's how you set it up. If you can copy the way that it's set up on your test, you will be fine. All right, but if you don't understand how it's set up, then please ask. Do we know where all these numbers are coming from? Which one do we not know where it came from?
Be honest. Want to clarify.
All right, I think it's the 25 that confuses people. That's how many total liters we need. All right, so it's 25 minus however many liters we need of the 10% CV. So we have 25 liters of a solution, and with that of a solution that is 15% acid. So the 0.15 is 15% as a decimal.
That's what we need.
All right, so what you need is going to be written down first, right here, except the percent needs to be a decimal. All right. Any other questions? All right, for a second, hoods aren't allowed, and normally I'm like whatever about it, but like I need to be able to see your ears. All right, I need to know you're not having AirPods underneath. Show me your other ear. Thank you. All right. So any questions before I move on? All right. So we're going to start simplifying. This is like the easier part. We've done this before. What's 25 times 0.15? So you can use a calculator. Please don't do long math.
3.74.
3.75.
Good.
There you go. That's
All right. When you take your quiz, you have like 25 minutes. So you want to spend the whole time doing like long division or long multiplication. All right, use the calculator. 3.75. Over here on the right side of our equal sign, we need to start simplifying. What do I do first? Pay attention to this first page. What's the first step? Distribute if necessary. So since I have numbers in this setup over here, all right, since I have numbers in this setup, where there's a number outside a set of parentheses and it's being added or subtracted inside, we need to distribute, which means I need to multiply that 0.30 times both of the inside numbers. All right, questions about that? So I'm going to bring down what's in the red. We're not doing anything with that yet. But over here in the green, we're distributing. So that means we're multiplying 0.30 times 25. What's that? Positive 7.5. So I'm going to put plus 7.5. And this you can't put in your calculator. I've seen people try today. You can't. What's 0.30 times negative x? It's a negative 0.30x. You can do it. You just write it like algebra. attention, we have positive times a positive, which leaves it positive, and then positive times a negative, which makes it negative. Questions there? The next example will go faster. I just have to explain all the weird stuff,
Make sure you're writing down these steps so you know how to do the problem when you get to it by yourself.
right? Now what do I do on the right side? Can I just start moving things? What do I have to do? What's step 2 on my steps? Combine like terms. What are some like terms that I can combine? Yes? 0.10x and negative 30x. So to help you see, I'm writing them in boxes. So what's 0.10x minus 0.30x? Negative 0.20x. Good. Don't forget that decimal. Negative 0.20x. And then bring down that plus 7.5. Questions there?
All pencils should be writing. I don't know why anybody's just sitting here staring.
This one's a hard one that's on your quiz, so
It's on there. It can help you.
that's a lot.
If you don't do it, then you're gonna have to figure it out yourself.
All right. How can I get the x by itself? Do I get rid of the negative 0.20 or the 7.5?
7.5.
And I get rid of it by,
Okay.
because that's opposite of adding, good. On the left side, I don't do that kind of math in my head. If you do, great. Hopefully you're right. What is 3.75 minus 7.5? Yes?
It equals 1 to 5.
It doesn't sound like what I got earlier. So use that calculator. If you don't have a handheld calculator, just do it on your Chromebook. What is it?
Negative 3.75.
Negative 3.75. All right, equals negative 0.20x. And the 7.5 is canceled. Questions there? 3.75 minus 7.5 is what we did. So I think you actually put an extra thing, minus 7.5. So 3 enter the whole thing. Okay, now do the opposite of what's being done. What's opposite of negative 0.20 times x?
Positive.
The opposite of timesing something is
Dividing.
good. So that would be dividing negative 0.20 on each side. What do I get on the left side? Okay, so this is where a lot of people mess up on their calculators. When you're putting negative numbers in your calculator, don't use the subtraction sign. There's usually a special button by your decimal button that is like a negative. Might be in parentheses like this. But you press that for your negative numbers.
On the side of the calculator. Or just know, a negative divided by a negative is always positive.
18.75.
Good. If you entered it correctly in your calculator, you should get 18.75. But don't put the subtraction buttons in your calculator because you won't get that. All right, everyone should be practicing entering that. So you know how to use your calculator on the test. All right, but the x represented what?
18.75.
Well, that's the answer for what x equals, but what did it represent?
What
How many
percentage?
meters?
The not a liter, the solution is 10%.
There you go, right here.
The 10% solution. So we need 18.75 liters of the 10% solution. I'm going to circle that because that's part of my answer. How do I know how much I need of the 30% solution? So we'll read the problem again. How many total liters does she need? 25. What's 25 minus 18.75?
6.25.
6.25. So she needs 6.25 liters of the 30% solution. Questions? I know that one was hard. But, you know, it is what it is. Any questions? Yes.
Does it get harder than this?
For this lesson, no. I think this one's the hardest one. All right. So we're actually gonna do one more together, and then I'll have you do the try it that's in your little book. So I don't have it typed up for you printed out on your paper. So you know that second paper you picked up yesterday?
Yeah.
Here.
The one with the road?
This one?
Yeah, this one.
So just write it underneath here. The one that we're about to do, write it underneath that problem. Like not here, down here. Yes, you can go down. You asked me earlier. Okay, yeah.
Is there somebody else after him?
Yeah, I think Sammy's next.
Wait, which one's Sammy?
That one.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I gotta get names down. Everyone else now.
And then I don't know what's after that.
Today, I guess. The problem is though, she's definitely looking the wrong time.
Okay, so here's the other example that is not on your paper, so that's the one I was having you write down. Do you need to write down this whole paragraph? No, but like write down the order that these numbers go in, because you should see like how to set it up just by like the order that they were in. All right, so this time the lab technician needs 40 liters of a 20% concentrate solution. So remember what she needs goes first. When we're setting this up, she needs 40 liters of a 20% concentrate. So how do I write 20% as a decimal?
0.20.
Good, 0.20 or 0.2, same thing. So that goes first, what she needs goes first. Then it says, but she only has a 15% solution and a 35% solution. How many liters of each does she need? So let's start with the 0.15 solution. Or not 0.15, I gave you the answer. Let's start with the 15% solution. How do I write that as a decimal?
0.15.
0.15. And do we know how many liters of that one she needs? So I'm gonna give it a variable. I'm gonna give it X. So that'll represent the 15% solution. We're combining it with the 35% solution, so what symbol goes here? Symbol. Addition, I guess, plus 0.35, right? That's 35% written as a decimal. Anyone confused where that came from? All right, now how do I write what goes next? So it's going to be parentheses, what goes first? 40 minus X. So you see like how it repeats the structure, like, you know, like how you set up your problems? That's like the only good thing about it.
It's different numbers.
So the 40 represents the total she needs, minus however much she needs of the 15% one. Make sense? All right, now let's start simplifying. What is 40 times 0.2? Yes. Well, just guess. The calculator. Use Desmo.
8.
It is 8. The 0.15x, I'm gonna bring down. Because we need to do what with this over here? 0.35. Distributing to the 2 that's in the parentheses. So what's 0.35 times 40?
14.
Good, and it's positive, so I'm gonna put plus 14. What's 0.35 times negative x?
Negative 0.35.
Negative 14. That's
0.35 times negative x.
0.35.
And this should be negative.
Yeah.
All right, good. Questions? Yes?
Where do we find this?
So you're gonna have to write it in on like underneath that problem. Yeah, that's fine. Just write it in. It's an extra one. So this one's like a hard one. Put one more together. All right, now what do I do? Combine like terms, yes. So what are my like terms?
0.15 is negative 0.35.
And combine, so 0.15x minus 0.35x is
Negative 0.2.
negative 0.2, yes. So negative 0.2x. All right, so we combine these two with the x terms. And then bring down everything else. Good, questions? Now, what do we get rid of to start getting the x by itself? The 14.
14.
And how do I get rid of it?
Subtract it.
And do that on each side. What's 8 minus 14?
Negative
Negative 6.
Negative 6 equal to negative 0.2x. One more thing we have to do. Divide by negative 0.2 on each side. All right. If you enter it in your calculator correctly, I don't expect you to do that by hand. Enter it in your calculator, practice entering it on your Chromebook if you don't have a calculator. What is it?
Positive 30.
That sounds correct. So it's 30 liters of what solution?
40%.
Of the 15% solution. If I have 40 total that I need, how many liters of the other solution? So 10 liters of the 35% solution. Question? That's 10 liters, not 102. 10 liters. All right. I'm gonna leave this one up as like a guide, but you have a triad in your little book about mixtures. That is just like the one we did. So listen up, especially if you were struggling. So the setup is just like the ones we already did. So what she needs goes first. What do I write?
30 parentheses 0.25 equals 0.10 plus 0.30.
Hold on. That's one at a time. So 30 times the 0.25 is your starting piece. Because you have 30 liters of a 25% solution that she needs. What she needs goes first. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, hello. All right. Now, how do we write the next part for how many she needs of the 10% solution? Point 10x. Good. All right, that represents how many liters she needs of the 10% solution. It's a variable because it didn't tell us, did it? Right, no, so we make it an unknown. How do we write the 30% solution part? Yes? Plus 0.30, is that all? Parentheses, 30 minus x. Where did this 30 come from? This one. The total liters that they needed, right? Because whatever we get for how many liters the 10% solution needs, we're subtracting it from the total solution. All right, does that make sense? All right, so we know where those x's are coming from. All right, now we can start simplifying. So what was 30 times 0.25? 7.5. And then what do we do on the right side of the equal sign? We have to distribute first. So this 0.30 being multiplied by both the inside numbers. So what is 0.30 times 30? Positive or negative? So I'm gonna write plus 9. What about 0.30 times negative x?
Negative 0.30x.
Good, I think you all said it right. All right, should be negative 0.30x. And then don't forget to bring down this 0.10x. We haven't done anything with it yet. Now, can I just start moving things around yet to the other side? What do I do first? Combine like terms. What are my like terms?
0.10x. Negative 0.
Good, so let me kind of circle them so you can see them better. 0.10x minus 0.30x is
Negative 0.20x.
good. And then bring down that plus 9. Right, now it's becoming more manageable. How can I start getting that x by itself?
Subtract 9 from the whole thing.
And do that on each side. 7.5 minus 9 is
Negative 1.5.
negative 1.5. What do I have on the right side?
Negative.
Good. All right, almost there. What's the last thing I need to do to get the x by itself?
Divide by negative.
Divide by,
0.2.
because that's opposite of multiplying. Good. And then if you entered it in your calculator correctly, what was the value of x?
7.5.
Good. That's how much she needs of the
30.
30.
should be the 10% solution. Remember, that's what we had it represent, the 10% solution. So 7.5 liters of the 10% solution. I'm gonna circle that, that's part of our answer. How do I find the other part?
You have to subtract.
From 30 liters.
Subtract it from your 30 liters. So in total, you needed 30. I have 7.5 of the 10% solution. What's the amount I need for the other solution? 22.5. Sorry, that thing's kind of not all day. All right,
There have been a lot of
Um,
classes doing that.
did I lose anyone during that? Do we understand where all the numbers came from?
And real quick, in the calculator, if you're using the one on Google, when it comes to the negative 1.5 divided by negative 0.2, put parentheses around each one, that's how we keep the negative with it, okay? Otherwise, Google's gonna switch it to just a subtraction.
Yeah, if you had this part and then it was just like a calculator error, just call us over and we'll show you like how to properly put that in. All right, any questions though? So we covered everything that's gonna be on the quiz. I'm sorry we didn't have time for the practice in class, so definitely look that over. It's only 12 questions and it only took them 20 minutes.
She's still getting points for it, but you wanna do it because the
We'll
quiz
see
is
if
on.
we have some time tomorrow to go over it before the quiz.
Especially if you struggle with the.
That's fine. Questions? Before you guys see on the hard.
Okay, yeah, what did it?
Oh, wow.
It's 1,000.
Honestly,